Hi there, Alvarenga Tours family. How's everyone doing? Thank you for tuning in and thank you for subscribing. If you haven't done so, you know you got to do it. Hey, listen, today we're here today with Francisco. Francisco, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien. Thank you, Jim, for having me. Here I am in your space, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, thank you. Hey, I want to briefly talk about a service that Francisco is offering. And it's very interesting because, as you guys know, what happened to Alvarenga Tours and many other families that listen and watch Alvarenga Tours, we got scammed. We got scammed.
Yeah.
And Francisco, I came across Francisco, even though he's an old friend of mine, but I came across with a new service that he's providing. And Francisco, I want you to briefly touch about
Sure.
what the service you're providing.
Okay.
And what do you do and what does the company do for service can you
Sure.
provide our audience out there?
Yeah. So I work for Origin Investigations, and we have recently opened an office here in El Salvador, in which we're providing investigative services to the community. We are here to make sure your goals or your projects and your projects are well aligned with what you want. We know that we have many people from El Salvador living abroad, United States, Canada, Europe, Asia, and many other places. And sometimes they have their projects here in El Salvador in which they want to build a house, they want to build a business, start a business from abroad. But they can't really be here and supervise the work or whatever project they got going. This is where Origin Investigation comes in, and we can provide the eyes and ears of our clients.
Interesting. So is it fair to say, or is it accurate to say, like a PI service?
Of course, yeah. So we're a private investigation intelligence organization, a business in which we can provide, private investigations, not just to personally, but also corporate investigations, internal investigations.
Interesting.
And here we are in El Salvador to provide those services.
Perfect. So if someone out there is trying to build a house in El Salvador, and they're obviously, let's say in the United States, and they're sending money to a cousin or a friend or a relative here, and we all know where that story is going, as we know what happens with that money and with that project.
Yeah.
So your service will be tailored to making sure that that money goes to the right hand and gets done what is supposed to get done.
That's correct, Jim. I can be the eyes and ears of our clients in those projects. I can make sure that this is actually happening. How many times have we heard of people sending money to either their relatives, their friends, or a neighbor?
All the time, every day.
And nothing happens.
Right. Yeah.
2 years go by and they're
still sending money for the foundation.
For the foundation of their homes, or a project, or a different project.
Right.
But yet, when they come and visit, nothing has been done. The excuses or the explanations are there, and why is it that it didn't happen, or it was done incorrectly? But now with Origin Investigations, we can make sure that that happens. We can send tailored reports to what's going on, either by video, photos, and I can be contacted personally over the phone, and we can even just talk about how the project is going. It's as simple as that we can be the eyes and ears of our people.
Excellent, excellent. That's a really interesting service because I think it's much needed.
Of course, yeah. And not only that, Jim, let's say that you have a house that you want to sell, that you want to sell your property in El Salvador, and you're abroad, you're in Canada, you're in the United States, and you hire an attorney in order to process the sale of a property. But at the end, it's so much struggle sometimes. It's not that easy when you're not here at home.
No.
So I can be also the eyes and ears of how that transaction is happening.
It's very interesting because it's happening a lot, and I know many of you watching out there are fully aware of this, where I would be negotiating a property from abroad with Jose.
Yeah.
And Jose said me that he is the owner. He's the owner.
Yeah.
And then documentation can be signed, money can be wired or transferred, and then you realize that Jose is not the owner of the property, and there goes your money.
Yeah.
And yet you thought you found something, or
Yeah.
you thought you filled out something legally, or you thought you did everything according to the law.
Mhm.
But now you have someone who can supervise that transaction to make sure that Jose
right.
is the actual owner of
Exactly.
that property by going to the proper
Yeah.
channels and the proper
Yeah.
CNR,
CNR, the
CNR,
SSCs.
to make sure that the documentation is
Centro
clear.
Nacional de Registros.
Centro Nacional de Registro, CNR, to make sure that the property is owned by
Yeah.
Jose and that
Exactly.
Jose is clear, there are no taxes
Yeah.
owed or any of that.
Yeah.
So that's something that you guys provide as well.
Sure,
and do
as well. And we have so many other
services.
similar services in regards to people who owns the house, but there's people living at that house in which they kind of provide, let's say, a sense of security for the property. But at the end, they can't really,
because
they can't really move them out
Right.
if the owner wants to come back in. There are many things that we can provide services to.
Excellent.
But, so here we are. We want to target the community which are abroad, who have many projects in different areas, and we can be the eyes and ears of that person.
Excellent. And I think that's the most vulnerable community out there, because these people send money. These people work hard for their money, and it's not fair that this money falls in the wrong hand. So now we have someone like Francisco and Origin to make sure that transaction takes place, and whatever has been contracted to take place will take place.
Exactly.
Because you will be sending daily or weekly reports, whether that be videos, text, pictures, whatever the case might be.
Yes.
Wow, that's an excellent service, Francisco. I'm very, very intrigued to find out that you guys are providing the service.
Yeah.
If someone decides watching the video, says, let me reach out, and we will put Francisco's information and Origin information in our website and link in YouTube, so you guys can access Francisco's information. But also, real quickly, and I know it might be a detailed information, how does someone goes about hiring you?
Sure. So you log into originsinvestigations.com. That's investigations with an S. www.origininvestigations.com. From right there, you can see the reviews, our clients, who has been our clients. And from there, you can see our record on how we have done work in the United States. You'll have the contacts information there too. As well, I can provide the phone numbers and how they can contact directly the company.
Excellent.
And that's how you can contact us and start. Remember, these services that we can provide are, just like you mentioned, tailored to your needs.
Right.
Once you want our services, then I can personally contact you and see exactly what you need, exactly what you want, and then we can talk about and suggest on how we can approach the best way to approach the project or what we need to do in order to make sure everything is done correctly.
Perfect. Such a great service. I'm really, really thrilled that there is someone out there like Francisco and a company like Origin to really go after the security that it's needed, much needed in every project, especially with building a house, with starting and your own business if you want to do that as well. So one of the things you mentioned is that you can do that. You can do information on how to start up a business, or background if you want to hire X amount of employees. And so forth and so on. So Francisco, thank you so much for the service you're providing. And we're going to be talking to Francisco later on as well in different interviews, because as we continue to explore the services, we find out things, right? And what other services can Francisco provide with Francisco? I think this is a great opportunity that is coming along with this service, especially with so much fraud and scam going on, especially in El Salvador right now. And I remember Alvarenga Tours helps you build your dream house, right? But for anything for that matter, if you want to investigate someone selling a car and you want to contact Francisco to make sure that this car is the mileage that is saying that is owned by Jose or by Pedro and not by someone else. So all this takes place in part of the investigation and the service that you do as well.
That is correct. Yeah, we can also do cybersecurity for companies, as small businesses, as large businesses, and so on. We have done cybersecurity in the United States for government services.
Excellent.
We have done work for them too. So our reputation, our experiences are all listed there in origininvestigations.com.
Thank you, Francisco. One of the new things we're trying here in Alvarenga Tours is giving you some space and time for you to address our audience. Whatever you want to talk about, it's your time, it's your space. Go for it.
So here I am, Francisco Leiva with Origins Investigations in El Salvador. I lived in the United States in Los Angeles area, and now I have moved here to El Salvador to bring the experiences that I have gained as a private investigator. Well, I was a government investigator in the United States, but now I'm a private investigator here in El Salvador. I bring the experiences and I bring the knowledge in order to help you have this project that you may have, the dream that you have, and protect it. And here I am to help you.
Francisco, thank you so much for providing that service. And you're going to be
welcome.
hearing from Francisco later on in different interviews. So thank you, everyone. Francisco, thank you for your service.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.